Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. Thanks for joining me for another video. This is the this is exercise number 3 of my how to program electric guitar. I forgot the title of the video again. Electric guitar VST. Anyway, this is I'm gonna play a track I made this evening of Foo Fighters' Everlong. It's an old song, but it's a favorite, especially if you're trying to learn guitar riffs. So before I play, I have about 3 guitars, 3 instances of ample guitar Fender with the funk extension, and I'll tell you why later. And then I have Superior Drummer 3. Let me open that for you. Uh-oh, spinning wheel of death. And then ample bass, jazz. Actually, no, that's wrong. Ample bass, ample metal, Ray. All right, here it goes. This is just the intro. All right, so that was I extended this a little bit. I looped the part of the intro just because it felt a little too short and I wanted you to hear. I'm going to focus on the first track, the clean guitar intro. If you're listening, please let me know if the audio is coming through. I'm also ice. Hopefully it is. All right, so I'm using Cubase Pro. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank Ample Sound and Steinberg for providing excellent products. I've included a link in the description to Ample Sound's website, as well as Steinberg's if you're interested in buying these products. So I have 3 instances of ample guitar Fender, and I'm running amplitude 4, and here's my setting for the clean guitar. For the amp, I just have American Tube Clean, no pedals, and then I have funk setting, or the funk extension as mentioned earlier, and I'm using Riffer. So let's listen to that intro one more time. Thank you, Chris. So this is a 7-bar intro, and it loops several times. So I have it set at 152 beats per minute. To make this intro, you have to tune the E string down to D. So what you're gonna want to do is click on the tuning peg and drag down. So by default it's set to E, and then you click on it and drag down, and it gives you that extra note. D. Crank up the volume a little bit on my microphone or the entire track, because it's starting to peak in the system audio. So there are several ways to program this. You could try programming it solely by playing it, but I know not everybody has a keyboard. I can turn up my mic a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's going to solve the issue. 37. Yeah, this is as loud as I like to keep my mic. And then the system audio, hold on a second. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm going to keep it like that. I don't want to start picking everywhere. All right, so down tune it. Then we're going to go to Riffer. We're going to create a new riff. We're going to set the measure number to 7. Make sure that the quantize is set to 16th notes. Time signature is 4/4. And that you have it synced to your system. This is going to play it back at its regular tempo. All right, I'm going to delete this first track. So I know you can't see my keyboard right now. Unfortunately, I only have one camera to use. But since we have that drop D, this intro starts like this. We play a D with the left hand, and on the right hand, you're going to go up 2 octaves to the F sharp and C sharp. So just 3 notes. And when we record, we're going to record 2 measures of this. It's going to be a lot faster than that, though. It doesn't matter the dynamic. What matters most is the rhythm. All right, so let's try that. That's going to take up 2 measures. Oops, I forgot to set the clicker. I'm still new to Cubase. Then I'm going to double click on that and then quantize this to 8th notes. That sounds horrible, but that's okay. It's going to sound good later on. Then we're going to move our left hand to B. And our right hand's going to continue playing that F sharp and C sharp. So essentially we're going from a D major 7 without the 5th to a B minor 9. And this one is going to play this. And then the last note's going to be a D. This is going to be a little more difficult. I'm going to practice this. Now, what you can do if you're not that great on piano is you could lower the tempo, say to 100. That way it could be a lot easier to record without messing up, and then speed it back up. Or you could mess up and then you could edit the MIDI. That's the beautiful thing about MIDI. All right, let's try that. So this is measure 3 to 4. Not bad. Quantize that. And the last one is we're going to play G in our left hand, and then D and A in our right hand. This is just for one measure. There's something weird going on there. Okay, and the last one, we go back to we do 2 measures of that B on the left hand and then F sharp and C sharp on the right hand. So the chord plays on the beat 2 and 4. Let me get rid of this. Wish me luck. Okay, that was not bad. Now, I'm going to split this into separate measures because we're going to drag this into Riffer. I might be getting something wrong, but when I drag the entire file into Riffer, it doesn't add all the notes. It only adds it measure by measure, which is okay. You know, it saves me time. So here we have a blank file in Riffer. So I'm going to take that first measure and I'm going to drag it. By the way, this feature only works in Cubase for now. So there we have it. This place. Then we drag measure 2 into the second measure of Riffer. Then 3. This is all for the purpose of saving time. 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 5. And we don't really need to do 7 because we're going to copy and paste whatever we have on measure 6 to 7. All right, let's hear that. It should sound the same. Whoa, that was... What was that? Let's try that again. All right, so this is where we have to start editing. Now, when you're playing this song, the first three strings are going to be used. So I'm going to pull the chord, which is F sharp and C sharp, down to that second and third string by holding down Shift and then dragging it down. That's where we want it. I'm going to do that to all of them. Can I move the strap box up a bit? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was doing that. Okay. This is the part where it gets a little tedious when you're moving the note to the correct string, but you know, it makes such a big difference in the tone. The beautiful thing about this intro is that the F sharp and C sharp are played on the higher, on the lower strings, which gives it more of a rounded out sound. So look at this B, it should be on the D string. So we're going to drag that down as well. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. So we're going to have to drag all of these down, which kind of sucks, but that's the nature of programming instruments. You have to get into the very detailed work. I mean, I can play this on piano and get a decent sound out of it, but it's that extra 10% that gives it more realism, I want to say. You know, there's something therapeutic about doing all this. Okay. So all these things contribute to they start fixing the sound little by little. And you'll hear it in just a bit. So that's the B. You always want to try to find ways to minimize your work or to speed up your workflow. So I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. That way this video is not long. Let's listen to this. So it's not finished, but it's going to sound better. Now you might hear some popping. I think it's the buffer setting on this this plugin, which I haven't checked how to do that. But so you notice it sounds kind of choppy. That's because the notes are entered in automatically as they're eighth notes. So some of them are even smaller, 16th notes. So we're gonna extend those. We want those notes to ring out as long as they can. Even these up here. This is the part I like to do. Yeah. You know, there's something satisfying about repetitive work too. When you're in that zone, I get this sort of high when I'm practicing piano and I'm just repeating the same thing over and over, something difficult until I start getting it. It's very satisfying. Oops. It's like your brain's creating these channels, these neural channels that are making you better, and you can feel it, and it feels great. I think there might be some in here that I'm not supposed to drag this far, but we'll hear it and adjust. So these at the end, da 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 da. These are going to be only maybe a beat long, a quarter. So hopefully you have Riffer open. Now, I have to warn you, I tried this on some of their older guitars, and it didn't sound quite as good because I don't know what it was, but they weren't as expressive. But each guitar sounds good with its own style of, with a certain styles of music. So let's listen to this. Alright, so I think my computer's getting overloaded with something. Audio clipping mix out. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, now if you listen to the intro of this, of the original track, this is a lot softer. So what I'm going to do is select all, right click and select all. And then I'm going to type in a low velocity value. That means that I'm going to make it so that all the notes are played quietly. So I'm going to choose a random number like 35. Now they all turn blue, meaning that they're pretty quiet. Let's hear it. Yeah, the CPU resource overspike, pop sound really annoying. I know, you know what? I used to have a Mac Pro and I used to make my videos, but I wanted to go mobile and I downgraded to a MacBook Pro, and I regret that. I regret doing that. But already you can hear that it sounds better. It sounds, well, because it's softer and it sounds a lot more intimate, and you can hear more of the string noise. And I'm not talking about the notes. I'm talking about like the little squeakiness of the sound. If you can get over the popping, that's really annoying. I didn't expect this. All right. Let's see what else. Okay, so right there, I think it was measure 5 to 6, or yeah, 5 to 6. It goes from a G to a B. I want to slide up to that. So what I'm going to do is make this a little shorter. Make that into legato. And make these notes shorter. That way they don't get in the way. And then I'm going to make this a B. The reason for that is because I want that slide to happen a little bit before the beat. And you'll hear how much better it sounds. I'm going to make this a little louder. So it just sounds a little more natural. All right, so let's copy measure 6 to measure 7. So I'm going to right click, copy to measure 7, and then we repeat that. So let's hear that. All right. After that's done, I'm going to take that MIDI file. Sorry, let me get rid of this. I don't need this anymore. We're going to take we're going to go to this icon right here that's like the 4 arrows. Click on it, and then we're going to drag that gigantic file all the way to our track. And then to loop it, within Cubase, somebody told me that you click on this square right here and then just drag to the right. And that's it. Let's listen to this. Sorry. All right, you've already heard that, so I won't play that again. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to program this, the electric guitar. I mean the guitar with the overdrive, because I didn't program it. I just played it, and I will show you my settings. So in Amplitude, I have orange dual terror. Then I have ambassador. I don't even have metal distortion. I have ambassador. That's it, and this is the way it sounds. So that's one of the guitars that's playing that. Let me solo it for you. And then for the second one, I use, let me see the settings on this. I used dual terror again. Might have used a different setting on that. No, pretty much the same. The only difference is that I panned it to the left, and I basically copied the riff that I made for the clean track, and I just copied it in there. That way I have these two riffs playing. Right? I think that sounds okay. I don't know about you. So what else was I going to say about this? Oh yeah, another setting I have on these guitars is that I took off some of the lows because the bass was getting in the way, or it was getting in the way of the bass, and you don't want to crowd that. But that's editing. I mean, that's mixing. So it kind of brought out the bass a little bit more by taking out the bass from these guitars, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. So let me know what you guys think. By the way, if you appreciate what I'm doing and you want to be a patron of this channel, you can send me any amount through Venmo or PayPal. I have a link in the description. Or if you're watching me live, there's a little $ below the comment section that you can click on, and just send me whatever. I appreciate anything. Or if you don't have any money, you want to give me a kind word, that's great too. So do you guys have any questions about this? Well, I'm trying to think of other things I might be able to talk about. Let's listen to this track, to this channel. Sorry. Thundering, could you please explain how to play half muted notes with ample guitar? Now, first of all, I'm not a professional guitarist. I've been playing piano a lot longer than I've been playing guitar. So when you say half muted, I'm not exactly sure I know what you mean. Let me see. So in the articulation section, we have sustain, and then we have palm mute. I think you can add them together so that they're layered. Is that what you mean by palm muting? So let me go to the clean track. I think it would be better there. This is an area where I need to do a little bit more research, but you can press both keys together, sustain and palm mute, and it's going to give you a combination of those. So the lower velocities are going to trigger the palm mute, and then the higher velocities are going to trigger the sustain sound. Yeah, that also works for the bass. So if you have slap and I think it's pull, you could press those two buttons together, and then it's going to layer them. So the lower velocities are going to trigger the slap, and then the higher velocities are going to trigger the pull. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. The purpose of these videos is twofold: to train you, or to teach you how to use the software, because it's pretty simple and in many ways intuitive. And the other reason is to show you the versatility of these plugins. I mean, I review many different guitar companies, and I love other ones, but I particularly love Apple Sound because of how easy it is to use and how expressive you can get with their plugins. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to hit that like button, share, subscribe, and comment below. All right, I'll see you next time.